What's going on, guys? How you guys doing tonight? Joey Overdose coming in with the hosty host. Thank you so much for that, host Joey. Oh, my closed captioning's not on that. That's an issue, isn't it? Yes it is. Guys, as you can see from the beautiful image on the stream right now, we have a streamathon coming up. What? Yes. Streamathon is coming up on June 13th. Just like it says there. So, guys, I'm super excited about this. That's not what I wanted to do at all. I'm really excited about this, guys. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys have a great time with it, because we are gonna have some fun with it. All right, so it's on the 13th, June 13th. Starts at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, so that's 9 p.m. if you're on Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and 6 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're not in the U.S., then it's a different time. That's not 8 p.m. So that's just a fact. Yeah, that's just factual. But we're starting the clock at 4 hours. So the minimum we'll go is from 8 to midnight. But you guys can decide if you want me to go longer. If you want to, look at my beautiful face. So the 24-hour is the cap. So the longest we're going to go is from Saturday, June 13th at 8 p.m. until Sunday, June 14th at 8 p.m. And we're going to increase the amount of time left on the clock by, if you guys donate embers, every ember you donate adds 1 second to the clock. For tips, every $1 adds a minute. For stream moots, every pack you purchase adds a minute. So embers, actually, you get a little bit more bang for your buck with embers. Not gonna lie. Tips, a dollar is 1 minute, so 60 seconds for $1 of tip. But for embers, since it's a second of ember and 100 embers is $1, you actually get 100 seconds for 100 embers. So you almost get 2 minutes. You get 1:40 per $1 of embers you donate. So that's pretty cool. And we're also going to do giveaways, because this isn't just all about me. So I want to give back to you guys as well. I want to give back to everyone that shows up and shows out every time, that you guys are always supporting. You guys are just absolutely legends. All the freaking time. So I want to give back to you guys as well. And the way I'm doing that is with some different giveaways. We're going to have gift cards. We're going to have Stream Woots packs to give away. And I have a couple of surprises, guys. I actually have one surprise I'm really excited about. But I'm not saying anything until the Streamathon. You'll find out at the Streamathon what that surprise is. But I am. This is going to be good, okay? Let's just say it's going to be good. And it's going to be something that will be incorporated into our giveaways. So you guys don't want to miss it, okay? It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, really looking forward to that one, guys. So, yeah, that's the whole Streamathon that we have coming up. Again, it's going to be a great time. I guarantee that, ain't no doubt in my mind. Because anytime hanging out with you guys is a great time. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys are just the bomb diggity. You guys really are the best. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, guys. Without you, there is no me. Without you guys showing up, supporting, hanging out, believing in what I do and believing in me, I can't do what I do without you guys. So I really appreciate you guys. Sorry about that echo. I really appreciate you guys being here. Day after day, night after night. You guys are great. Okay, so I appreciate that. I wanted to talk a little bit before we get into some games. Thinking maybe we'll get into some Jackbox or something like that. But I wanted to talk a little bit to you guys about just taking the time to really take time for yourself, because I think that's so important. And I feel like so many people don't do it, or you feel like there's like a stigma almost against it, you know? I feel like a lot of people feel like they like have to put out that vision, that persona of like they're okay and they got everything together. And that's not true, because so many people don't have their shit together. I don't have my shit together. At all, actually. I'm not ashamed to say that. But I feel like, you know, with social media and everything, you know, people don't realize all the time that social media is just a highlight reel, right? So all these people that you're seeing on social media, you're seeing, you know, obviously you're seeing exactly what they want you to see, but you're seeing like the highlights of their day. You're seeing the very best. You don't see always what goes on behind the scene, you know, before that picture, after that picture, what's going on in their lives. And I think it's because of that, and because we're constantly being, you know, put in front of these people, and we're constantly seeing these people, and we're constantly seeing just the highlights of their life. It's really easy for us to compare ourselves to them, and to get disheartened, to, you know, feel like we're not stacking up, to feel like we're not good enough compared to the people that we see on social media, the influencers that we follow, or even just your own friends. You know, you see the things that they're achieving and the things that they have, that they're posting about. You know, you don't see the work that goes in behind it, that took the work that it took for them to get to the point they are, and B, you don't see, you know, the other things, like people who rent cars or rent houses to take pictures in front of. You know, it's you don't know, you know, the full story behind all the pictures that you see on social media. So you know, just like take it with a grain of salt, and it's about your journey. You know, it's about you being the best you that you can be at that point in time, and you can't compare yourself to anyone else, because everyone has a different journey, right? So you can't. My journey that I've taken in life to get to the point I am looks totally different than someone else's journey, and what they've done in their life to get to where they are. So you can't sit there and say, well, you know, this person is the same age as me and they have this, you know, why don't I have that? Because, you know, you had different opportunities in life, maybe. You know, obviously made different choices because you're different people. And so, you know, I think it can be a toxic habit. It can be a toxic, it can be really dangerous to get into that mindset, and it can send you into that downward spiral of, you know, thinking that you don't have your shit together just because of the outward portrayal of someone else's life via social media. So I think that is one thing that, you know, I wanted to touch on and say, you know, you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful. Not to fall into that trap. Social media is awesome. It's awesome to see, you know, keep up with your friends and see what all this great stuff everyone's doing. But it's always important to keep in the back of your mind, you know, you don't know the full story behind that picture. You don't know when it went into it. You don't know what the, you know, quote unquote truth behind that picture is. And also, you know, in that same vein, I feel like a lot of times there is a expectation from people that when they say, hey, how you doing? You say, oh, I'm good. And I feel like that right there needs to stop. I feel like, hey, how you doing is so ingrained in our culture as just like that casual greeting that we have, that we hear someone say, hey, how you doing? And we default to, oh, I'm good. Because that's it's just like second nature, you know? Like, literally, I see my friends, hey, what's up? Oh, nothing. What's up with you? Or just like, what's up? What's up? That's just a way that we have that greeting. But I feel like because of that, when you're actually trying to have a conversation with someone, you know, someone legitimately cares about how you're doing. You say, hey, how are you doing? You know, a lot of times we just default to that, no, I'm good. You know, and I feel like we don't. There's a lot of reasons that people don't like to talk about their feelings. Right? Don't get me wrong, but I feel like on one level, it's just so automatic and normalized to respond to how are you doing with I'm good, that that's what comes out of your mouth before you even have a chance to think about it. And what got me thinking about this is actually my girlfriend, who's from Sweden, said that it was the weirdest thing when she came here, that people would say, like, how are you doing, as a greeting. And she was like, why do people say that? Like, they don't actually care about how you're doing. They just want you to say, I'm good, and then you move on with the conversation. Like, if you walked up to someone and you're like, hey, how you doing? And, like, they went into, like, a explanation of, like, oh, like, it's actually kind of been a hard day, and, this happened, and this happened, I got this on my mind. Like, the person who asked that question would be like, whoa, like, I didn't ask for all that information, but, there's just, it's just a different, I guess, a cultural thing that we have that I think is just interesting to think about in that regard, that just how you doing can mean different things to different people. And to us, it means like a casual greeting as opposed to someone actually having, an invested interest in how are you doing. But I think it's important to talk about how you're doing, because you can't just say, oh, yeah, I'm good. And obviously you can't, talk about that with everyone, but I feel like it's important to have that one person, at least, that, you don't have to default to, oh, I'm good, when they ask you how you're doing, and that you can, open up to, and you can talk about, like, because I'll be honest, a lot of days I'm not doing good. A lot of days my answer is, oh, I'm good, because that's what, I default to. That's what I've, programmed my brain to. But, like, today I woke up, I felt off today. I just didn't feel 100% like myself. Like, this morning I was feeling kind of weird and kind of uncertain about things. And then I was, going down the elevator to my car, and I had my G Fuel like bounce on top of my lunch, and my G Fuel, as I was getting out of the elevator, I dropped my G Fuel and it popped open on the ground and like spilled half my G Fuel all over the floor. And I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be like one of those days, And then at work, work was rough. And it's just like little things. Like when your day starts like that, sometimes it's easy for the little things to snowball and the little things to build up. And it's important to have mechanisms and mechanics and what word am I looking for? Techniques, I guess, to try to recenter yourself and not let those little things be such a bother. But that's hard some days. Some days that little things just really get to you. But there's a saying that I liked that I had found, and let me see if I can find the exact number here, because it's about a number. Let's see. So I think it was. Let's see here. No, what is it? Yeah. So the saying was, if you had $86,400 and someone stole $6 from you, would you just burn the other $86,394? Obviously no. But what they're getting at is that there's 86,400 seconds in a day, and if someone ruins 6 seconds of it, are you going to let them ruin the rest of your day? And is it worth those little things? Again, can really get you. It can be hard to get past those little things, but is it worth that little thing that probably in the grand scheme of things doesn't really matter, to ruin the rest of your day? And no, it's not. But again, it's not always easy to do that. It's not always easy to not let it get to you, because sometimes it gets to you, and it's okay. I don't think anyone should feel bad about the fact that sometimes it gets to them. That's not my intent here. My intent is just to think about being, mindful of your feelings. Like at work, at my job, we always have a word of the month that we talk to our students about. And this month is self-awareness, which is kind of where this conversation is coming from. And we're talking to our students right now about it's easy for everyone to have physical self-awareness, meaning if I am too hot, I am very aware of that. If I'm too cold, I'm very aware of that. If my knee hurts, if I scrape myself and I can think about that scrape later and I can feel it on my body. I can think about my hand and then like my hand starts to get all tingly because I'm thinking about my hand. That is all very easy to do. It's very easy to have that physical self-awareness. Jelly Rose, by the way, thank you so much for that host. I appreciate that, Jelly Rose. What's going on, everyone? We're here. We're talking about self-awareness. We're talking about some mental health right now. Because it's important to talk. There's such a stigma around talking about this kind of stuff, and there doesn't need to be. You need to have places and people to openly talk about and share this kind of stuff because it's so important for people that struggle with mental health. I feel to not feel like they're alone, and I feel like it can be a very isolating issue for a lot of people. And it doesn't need to be. You got to come together, help each other out on this. But like I was saying, it's very easy to have physical self-awareness and be aware of your own body. But it's a totally different thing to have emotional self-awareness. In the sense of, if you're upset, a lot of times it's really easy to lash out at the people close to you because you're upset. And the thing that's upsetting you could have nothing at all to do with them, but we feel angry, so we lash out, and a lot of people do that. Again, if you do this, I'm not saying that you're a terrible person. I'm just saying that you need to have the emotional self-awareness. It's something very hard to have, but the emotional self-awareness to understand what made you feel angry. Because sometimes, like I said, little things happen, and like today, for instance, I said I dropped my G Fuel and it popped open and I spilled half my G Fuel on the floor, and I was like, oh god damn it, I guess it's gonna be one of those freaking days. And I was kind of annoyed, and I was getting frustrated about that. But like that wasn't the thing that was making me frustrated. So to have that emotional self-awareness and say, all right, this is annoying, this is upsetting me right now, this is angering me right now, but this isn't what's causing the root of my anger. What's causing the root of my anger? And to take that time for quiet reflection, just a couple minutes, and just breathe and just really think on what is making me feel the way I'm feeling right now. And then I feel like once you do that, you gain a lot of power, because then you have a sense of control, or I know what's upsetting me. And so it's going to be less likely for me to lash out at these other things, because I know that they're not the root cause of my issue. And lashing out at these things and getting upset, getting frustrated, getting angry at these things isn't going to help me solve this over here, because I know that this over here is what's causing me to feel this way. I know that this isn't what's causing me to feel this way. But again, I think having that emotional self-awareness is a huge step, and it takes time to learn how to sit down and quietly reflect on what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, because so many people are so reactive, and they feel something and they go with it, and it continues and continues, and it builds up and it builds up, and that's how really heated arguments and things like that happen. And so I feel like it's almost opposite of what a lot of people do in those kind of situations, to take that time and sit and think and understand where that emotion is coming from. And so that was me rambling about mental health and about self-awareness. How you doing, Slug?
Just breathing it all in, my man.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
There's plenty I could add and I should add, but I do not want to right now.
That's fine. This is, like I said, this is about, this is 100% about, just chatting and feeling comfortable. So there's absolutely nothing you need to add. Just sit and listen. Syrupy, what's going on, man? Thank you for the happy early birthday. I appreciated that. And thank you for the host as well. How you doing tonight? We're sitting here. We're just talking a little bit about mental health. We're talking a little bit about self-awareness, physical self-awareness, mental and emotional self-awareness. Knowing, being able to get to the root cause of what's causing your feelings instead of just reacting to external stimulus. But again, so easy to do that. So I'm not saying anyone that does that is taking the easy way necessarily. I'm just saying that is kind of the default for a lot of people, because a lot of times that's how we process, and everyone processes emotions differently. So like for me, that's kind of the default of how I processed things until I really started to think about trying to take time and take a second to figure out what's making me feel that way. But there might be people who that's the primary way that they process their emotions, which is fantastic. Like if you could do that, fuck, good on you. More power to you. I wish that was my default. I wish I didn't have to like physically and like mentally take that time to stop and think. But yeah, I mean, everyone processes all external stimuli differently. Everyone processes, everyone processes mental and emotional and physical stimulus totally differently from everyone else. So the process is so individualized and so unique for everyone. And there's not really, that's why there's not really a one-size-fits-all solution for anything that has to do with mental health. Because we are so individual. It's so much more complicated than, you break your arm, you put it in a cast, your arm heals. And everyone's arm heals basically the same way. I mean, unless you have like underlying conditions and you maybe have like a blood disorder or you have a bone disorder or something like that. But for the most part, everyone's arm heals pretty much the same way. But if you have some type of, chemical imbalance or otherwise in your brain that's causing you to feel a certain kind of way when it comes to mental health, that is going to manifest in different ways in everyone. It's going to maybe have a similar pattern that it follows, but the way that it's expressed and the way that, things affect it is going to be different individually, which is why, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. And it's so important for us to understand that and for us to be empathetic with that, that it's not so easy. Something that worked for this person might not work for this person, Something that works for you might not work for someone else who's going through a similar situation. It might, but it might not. And so it's important to, the things that I'm saying right now, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist whatsoever. I'm just a person that has thoughts and ideas that I like to share with people. But that, the things I'm saying now might work for me. They might not work for you. You might feel a different kind of way, and that's okay. And that's what's so great about us as individuals, that we all feel different ways, right? And that we all have different opinions, and we all have different emotions, and that's okay. That's totally okay.